Ever wonder what it really took to become a gladiator? Well, not the muscles, the sweat, or the blood. What about the mental fortitude needed to step into the arena? What kind of person could even contemplate such a brutal career? How did they train their mind to conquer their fears and become a fearless warrior? Let's find out. Welcome to my channel. Today, we will go back in time and experience what it was like to be a gladiator in the most realistic way possible. Get ready for an adventure full of danger, excitement, and surprises. The year is 80 AD. You are a young man who has just arrived at the Ludus, gladiator school in Rome. The journey was long and hard, but now you are here. It's like a prison plus camp all in one. The head coach, a former gladiator himself, runs it with an iron fist. He wakes you up before sunrise and immediately begins your training. As a novice, your first weapon is the wooden sword. With it, you learn the basic techniques of fighting, thrusting, parrying, lunging, dodging. But it's not so easy. Your muscles are not yet used to this kind of work, and soon you feel the pain in your arms, shoulders, legs. You try to quit, but the lanista, the owner of the gladiator school, won't allow it. He has plans for you, and none of them include quitting. You spend the whole day practicing. In the afternoon, you have a break, but it's only to regain your strength for the evening session. There you engage in mock battles with other novices. It's still not real combat, but the intensity is increasing. Some of the novices are more skilled than others. Some of them have been slaves for years and know how to use their whips. Others are ex-soldiers who bring their experience from the battlefield. You notice that among the novices there are also some foreigners, Gauls, Iberians, even Africans. All of them are different, yet they share one common goal: to become gladiators. Your training continues until late at night. When you finally return to your barracks, you are exhausted. You take off your armor and lie down on the straw mattress. Sleep comes quickly. Every night you dream of home, of your family, of your friends. You miss them so much. But you also feel a sense of pride, of accomplishment. You are learning something new, something useful, something that makes you feel alive. The days pass like this, full of work, sweat, and pain. You get used to the routine. You learn to fight with different weapons, with nets, tridents, swords, shields. You face different opponents, some strong, some agile, some mean. You face bulls, too. The lanista wants to see how well you handle yourself against these ferocious animals. You fear the bull most of all, because if it charges you and tosses you in the air, your bones will turn to dust. You don't eat much, just barley and beans. Sometimes you get a piece of bread, too. The lanista says that gladiators need to eat simple food so they can digest it quickly and save their strength for fighting. But you suspect that he does it to save money. The only drink you get is a strange ash drink made by mixing ground bones with vinegar and water. They call it barley men. Tastes awful, but it's supposed to give you calcium and protein. One day the lanista calls you. You have fought well, he says, and now it's time for you to move on to the next level. You will fight in the real arena, not against other novices, but against real opponents. You are excited and scared. You have been preparing for this moment for months, but now that it's here, you wonder if you are ready. The lanista puts a hand on your shoulder. Don't worry, he says. You are stronger than you think. You are tougher than you look. Now go out there and show them what you got. You take a deep breath and walk towards the entrance of the arena. The crowd cheers and you hear them. They want blood. They want action. You raise your sword and shield and enter the arena. This is it. This is your moment. You are a gladiator now. But gladiators weren't just trained to fight. They were trained to think like warriors, and that changed everything. Want to know more about it? Then click here and get ready for the next adventure. See you next time. Secrets of the arena. When you think of a gladiator, you probably picture a fierce fighter locked in combat to the death with another equally fierce opponent. But did you know that being a gladiator was more than just about fighting? To succeed in the brutal world of the Roman Empire's most famous entertainment, a fighter had to be a master of strategy, psychology, and showmanship. Welcome back to the channel. Today we will explore the hidden world of the gladiators, secrets of the arena. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more historical tales. But let's start with the basics. What kind of fighter were you? There were many different types of gladiators, each with their own fighting style and weapons. The Retiarius was a net fighter who used a net and trident to entangle his opponents. The Murmillo was a heavily armored sword fighter who specialized in thrusting attacks. The Threx was a Thracian warrior who fought with a dagger and shield, relying on speed and agility to outmaneuver his foes. And these are just a few of the many types of gladiators that fought in the arenas of the Roman Empire. Each one was a deadly warrior in their own right. As a gladiator, your fighting style was only half of what it took to survive in the arena. You also needed a strategy, a way to outsmart your opponent and the crowd. The crowd was there to be entertained. They wanted to see blood and violence, but they also wanted to see skill and strategy. A good gladiator knew how to read the crowd, how to play to their expectations, and how to deliver what they wanted to see. This meant studying your opponent, knowing their fighting style and weaknesses, and planning your moves accordingly. It also meant being able to improvise, to react to your opponent's moves, and to come up with a strategy on the fly. But strategy and showmanship were only two parts of the equation. The third, and perhaps most important part, was survival. A gladiator could have the best fighting style and strategy in the world, but without the endurance to back it up, they would quickly become another notch on their opponent's sword. Being a gladiator was an incredibly physically demanding job. They trained for hours every day, fought in multiple battles, and often had to perform feats of strength and endurance that would put even the most seasoned athlete to shame. This required a tremendous amount of physical and mental discipline. And this is where the Brotherhood of Gladiators came in. In the gladiator schools, you learn not just how to fight, but how to endure. The schools were run by former gladiators, who knew the physical and mental toll that fighting took on the body. They taught their students how to push through pain, how to overcome exhaustion, and how to keep going when all you want to do is give up. It was in this brotherhood that the gladiators found their support system, their friends, and in some cases their family. But despite the training, the strategy, and the brotherhood, being a gladiator was a dangerous profession. Many didn't survive their first fight, and those who did often suffered injuries that would end their careers prematurely. But for those who did make it big, the rewards were great. Gladiators could earn enough money to buy their freedom, win the adulation of the crowds, and even become celebrities in their own right. So now it's time for you to step into the arena. Can you survive the brutal world of the Roman Empire's most feared warriors? Or will you fall victim to the bloodlust of the crowd? Only time will tell. The life of a gladiator was one of hardship and danger, but it was also one of great excitement and adventure. Day. They were the ultimate underdogs, fighting against impossible odds and winning. They were the original action heroes, and their story is one that has captured the imaginations of people for centuries. But now it's time to turn the tables. I want to hear from you. How do you think you would have fared as a gladiator? What fighting style would you have used? What strategy would you have employed? And most importantly, would you have survived? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more exciting historical tales. Together, we can keep the legacy of the gladiators alive. The real battle wasn't just in the arena. It began inside the brutal walls of the gladiator schools. Would you have survived?